Welcome back to another episode of From Worry to Wealth. I'm your host, Ben Lyons, and I am here with my business partner and co-host, Mr. Alex Fink.
Indeed.
Here he is. I am really excited. In this podcast episode, we have a tremendous guest, Paige Covington, who is one of the top realtors in Jacksonville, and we're really excited to have her. We are going to dig deep into Paige's background and how she really went from broke, as a single mother, to just killing it, and we're excited. We'll see you in the episode. Well, welcome back to our podcast. Really excited that you're with us today. We have a special guest, Paige Covington, the realtor extraordinaire. So thank you for being with us, Paige.
It's a pleasure.
My goodness, we're very fortunate to have Paige here. Paige, you are one of the top realtors in Jacksonville, right?
So they say, yeah.
So they say. I know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Business journal.
It's weird talking about yourself, right?
Yeah.
And receiving these accolades, but she really is.
And
very.
You were the one that originally met Paige,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Yep. Yeah. Between the two of us, I met her in 2018, I think it was. Maybe 2017. Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh,
And she was, we often talk about certain finance institutions, Ben, that there are some finance companies that want to do everything they can to turn down a transaction. And there's some finance companies that want to do everything they can to make a transaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I often find the same, with realtors. There's some realtors that put in the effort. There's some realtors that want to get things done. There are other realtors that seem, interestingly enough, not to want to get things done. And Paige was definitely the type of realtor that was trying to make a transaction happen, which I really appreciated.
For sure.
So what I want to do is I want to hear about how you guys first met. And then what we want to do is go all the way to have Paige tell us her entire story.
Okay.
Not back from when you were born.
Yes, I get it.
But you can
We could start there if you wanted to.
She was born a little child.
Very, very young lady.
So
yes.
how did you guys meet? Let me hear about this.
You go ahead if you want to.
I'd like to hear your side because honestly, I don't think my memory isn't great, but I don't think I've ever heard your side of it. I mean, I've said like how we've met to a lot of different people. We met 8 years, like I don't know.
It was just on a transaction. It was really simple, right? She was the listing agent on a transaction. I don't even remember who the selling agent was. Do you? Did I have a selling agent?
Yes, you did. You were working with an agent back then.
Oh, I was. Okay. I don't know.
You were the buyer?
Yeah.
You were looking to buy? You were on the buy side?
He was on the buy.
I was on the buy side, and this is an asset that you and I are developing or have developed, which is really interesting.
Yes.
So yes, Paige put in the effort. You could tell that she cared and that she was taking care of her client, but at the same time trying to make a transaction happen, not trying to drive the buyer away, right? And I just liked the experience. And
I met him out at the property. It was my listing. It was a very unique property. So it was like one of those, like you needed to go out there. I needed to be there for my seller to kind of explain the property. And because I didn't know him, like obviously when he goes out there, he knows what's going on, but a lot of people don't. So I wanted to go out and explain, like, this is the kind of the structure we're looking at, all the variables involved. So, as I toured the property with Alex, I kind of was like, this guy knows what he's talking about, like he was a very knowledgeable person and kind of just caught me of like, hey, like this is someone that I need to stay in touch with. Throughout the whole time we were there, I was like, man, it's just like my intuition. I usually follow my intuition on things. And I was like, I need to stay in touch with him, but I don't want to, I don't want to step on toes because he was working with another agent. So I did get his contact info. We did end up closing that deal together. It was very challenging the whole time. We did end up closing that transaction together, and I kind of just stayed in touch though. I think just like through emails, and I tried to bring deals and tried to offer any like
provide value, right?
Yeah, provide value.
For sure.
Right. So I don't know what happened. You stopped working with that agent. I don't remember what it exactly was, but you reached out to me, and I think I listed a
Well, one thing's for sure, I don't even remember who that agent was.
Okay, I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't. and I'm working with her pretty exclusively now in Jacksonville. So that's testament to her skills.
You were impressed with Paige.
Yeah, I was. I enjoyed working with Paige for sure.
And that was 2018?
That was 2017 or 18,
Yeah.
I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
The interesting thing about that deal too is that there were some attributes to that deal that were not very common.
Right.
I believe I even loaned money to the seller before I closed so that the seller could accomplish some of the things the seller wanted to accomplish. And she was there through all those
Yeah.
negotiations.
There
It
was quite a few
was,
hoops to jump through.
yeah, it was really
Yeah.
interesting. It was a really interesting deal. Very, very nice
Very great.
seller. Love
Very
that guy.
nice people.
Really,
Yeah.
really sweet couple.
Mhm.
Anyway, I
Still
digress.
talk to them actually.
But it
so-
wasn't a cut and dry deal. So imagine, we've got some experience in real estate, right? Imagine I'm going into this transaction and not thinking that I'll get a lot of support from the folks in the transaction, right? But the way that she conducted herself, her professionalism, her care for her client, her trying to make the deal work, it just was, I don't know why I wouldn't have wanted to work with her after that.
Yeah. So she was leaning into a very difficult deal, it sounded like.
And genuinely interested in helping,
Right.
which just I haven't found very common in the
And at that time, that was the biggest deal I had ever done. It was about $1 million.
a little over $1 million.
That was the biggest
Oh wait,
deal.
it was probably $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
$1 million. That was the biggest deal that I'd ever done. So of course I was like, I want to sell this place, you know?
It was a challenging deal to finance. It was a challenging deal to
Interesting.
acquire. People
Yeah.
didn't. So this isn't one where I don't think people. I think I saw an opportunity in this. It did appraise for 50% more than I paid for it, by the way. But it was a really, really challenging deal to get done, believe it or not.
So let's kind of cover your background,
Mhm.
and let's start with like the end, like year to date and last year. You've produced some great numbers. Can you share those, and then we'll go all the way back to the beginning?
Okay. So my numbers first.
Sure.
Okay. So last year, I think I closed $22 million in volume. And this year it's August, I'm already at 23 million
Wow.
closed.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
All right. So how did you get here? You're obviously killing it.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way
Okay.
back to the
Let's
beginning.
go back. So 2012, I got my real estate license.
Why did you decide to get your real estate license?
I don't know. Real estate was there was always a draw to me. I remember just driving and looking at houses all the time. Like I would just go drive and I admired real estate. So it was one of those things I was, always drawn to. So I was like, man, I'm just going to go get my real estate license. And this was like pretty much straight out of high school, like not too far after high school. So didn't want to go to college, was not a good student, I guess you could say. And so in 2012, I got my license and I started in property management. I did that for 2.5 years and hated it. I hated everything about it. So
I understand.
yeah.
So you started in property management before you were interested in real estate, or you got interested in real
So
estate?
I got my license and then I was able to do property
Oh, got it.
management because I had to be licensed to do
Right.
that. So I even though it was kind of salaried essentially, there was commission involved. So I had to be licensed in order to operate with that. And then after 2 years of that, didn't like it at all. I was actually a single mom at the time. And so I had a son. My son, he was about probably 5 or 6, probably 5. And everybody told me I wanted to do sales. That's what I really wanted to do. But everyone told me, no, do not do that. That's a bad idea. It's commission based. You need to go get a 9-to-5
You
job.
need a stable job,
You need a
trying to
stable job.
discourage you. Yeah.
Right. Very, very discouraging. It was like everybody that I knew was kind of like, don't do it.
Not too different than your family.
hmm
Um,
So I said, I'm going to do it and I'm going to try and I'm going to give it 3 to 6 months. I gave myself a little bit of a timeline. And I, at the time was living in like a 2-bedroom condo with my son, mattress on the floor. I did not have money. I didn't really know how I was going to do it. I kind of, I didn't have money to buy my own sign. So I got my first listing from a very good friend of mine. I was very nervous. I was like, man, who's going to give me a shot? I don't have any experience. I'm young. I just got my license. I just got into sales. Who's going to give me the opportunity? And so I had a very good friend of mine. They were selling their house. She was my age. And she said, hey, we'll let you list our house. And I was like, oh my
that's
gosh.
so nice.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So I reached out to a girl in my office and she actually was kind of mentoring me at the time. She bought me my first sign. And
That's cool.
yeah. And so I kind of worked through that transaction. And from there, it kind of was like word of mouth. I mean, they were very well-known people too in a lot of different
Circles. Of
yeah,
sales.
right. And so
So your friend was
very well
so they were connected.
very connected
Yeah.
people. So they started telling people and then
Wow.
I guess just word got out and
So you interacted with them, and based on how you conducted yourself, those people were happy with their experience?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was
Yeah.
always there for everything. I answered the phone, communication. I mean, I knew what the core of me had to do, and I didn't want to fail. I mean, it was like at that time it was like if I fail, then I mean, I'm going to go back to
Yeah.
what I didn't, nothing. So, and I had a 5-year-old kid that I was responsible for and didn't have anything, had negative money in my account. And it was just like a fight or flight mode, like fear kind of drove me.
It's beautiful.
And it was like a,
Fear is a pretty big motivator
yeah, it
to
is.
folks. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it was for me.
Yes, for sure. I mean, so I guess going back, like I'm from parents who work very hard. They work very hard. But they were the 9 to 5. And so, my mom always worked hard. She was a single mom as well for a while. And it was always like I watched my mom work hard and struggle though. Like it was just, we struggled a lot, and so and then I got to that point. I was like, okay, well now I'm in this
And
position.
you were struggling, you could draw the corollary to your parents when you were struggling because you had the standard 9 to 5 job
Yep, exactly.
and you took a massive risk
Oh, absolutely.
that everybody discouraged her from taking
Yep,
to take a shot
yep,
at increasing your disposable income
yep.
so that you could achieve certain things that you wanted to achieve.
Yeah. And I kind of wanted to show my son too, like, it wasn't luck, I guess. It was more like, I'm going to grind, I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to show everybody who didn't believe in me and who didn't think I could do it, and myself, really. I mean, it was like, I wanted to prove to myself I could do it mainly. And I mean, it was just like, I had to get it done, wasn't really an option.
So you did your first transaction,
Mhm.
and I'm sure I felt great.
Yes, it did.
And do you remember how much the commission was?
I think it was like 5,000, maybe $3,000 to $5,000, something around there. I was like freaking out. It was huge. And then they ended up buying a house, and I helped them buy a house as well. So
So what
awesome.
happened after that? How did it go from there? Like, what was the evolution here? What were the decisions you made?
I mean, it was just, I had to get out of this hole that I dug it myself into as well. I was in a lot of debt. So I just, I kind of had to like brand myself. And so, cause a lot of this business is like you're selling yourself essentially.
Yeah.
So I had to get out there and I had to show people here, you can trust me. I had to brand myself. I had to go through a lot of experiences and, a lot of people, I had to gain trust in a lot of people. And so it was just, one transaction after another. Every transaction I treated like it was my own, and like just this white glove service. Like, hey, like, if you can't do this, let me help you. And, I was there every step of the way for every single person I helped. And so I think just me growing my business was mainly just experience and earning trust and being that person that can handle anything, that they can't handle. I mean, there's been times where I'm at a closing table where I'm sitting across from I had the buyers and the sellers there, and we're all there closing. There was one specific time I can remember, and the buyer's agent was like, "Man," like, and I had the listing at this time. The buyer's agent was like, "Man, I can't believe that almost didn't happen. Like, that was crazy." And my sellers were like, what is he talking about? What do you mean this didn't almost happen?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't really tell you.
Yeah.
I kind of just handled it, like I kind of just handled it and didn't,
Yeah.
want to tell you. Like I had an electrician there the day that something went wrong was the day before closing, and I got it handled for you." And they were like, "I didn't even know that." Like, and I was like, "Oh, that's my job. Like I'm supposed to sell your house, and that's what you hired me to do." So just stuff like that. I mean, and getting in the relationships again, like we can go back to that, like the relationships with people. It wasn't just about customers. It was about like building relationships with contractors and everybody who's a part of that, like to problem solve the whole thing. Like this whole business is problem solving. And so I got into touch with a lot of people that help me solve problems, and it's about who you know and relationships. So
Yeah. So the three takeaways for the viewers and listeners sounds like go over and above
yeah, for sure.
what you're supposed to do. Take full
Mhm.
responsibility for that transaction, well beyond
Mhm.
just your piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is also an example for everybody that's in an industry, because you don't have a lot of bright shining stars in each of the industries, right? So if you're looking to leverage your skill set and create disposable income, if you're willing to put in the work
Right.
and you're in the right and you have the right set of skills and you're in the right industry, you can outshine other people by the way in which you conduct yourself,
Yeah,
right?
for
If you
sure.
have that goal. And I think you probably would agree.
Identify 2 or 3 specific actions that support outshine the rest of the people.
Well, I think
Communication
yeah.
Right.
Communication
is a huge one. I mean, people always ask how you're so good at how you what you do, and I mean, I answer my phone. Like, and
I
that's a
think
start.
compassion
Yeah.
and communication,
Hmm.
right? Just helping people understand that you're invested in their transaction, you're invested in their success, and helping them understand that you care more about them than you do about yourself,
Absolutely.
which is what I've seen
Yeah.
from her. So I could tell instantly that she wanted a transaction to happen. I'm like, I want to align myself with a person that wants to make transactions happen, because it's just a big waste of time otherwise, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's true in a lot of industries, right? Whether you're a nurse or whether you're a doctor or whether you're a reporter or whether you're a lawyer, right? I mean, you could, any of those industries, if you care about your clients and you show them that you care and you're willing to put in the work, you can get far.
How much money did you spend marketing your brand
When I first started, or now?
when you first started?
To be honest, I utilize social media a lot. I feel like that was free, so that's kind of what I used, and so
So not a lot of dollars spent because you didn't
I
have.
didn't have any. Yeah.
So here's an example of somebody that had probably a negative net worth, right? You were living in a
Negative. Yes.
So if we're going through the the core tenets, right, of our teachings, it's somebody with a negative net worth that had no disposable income and made a leap from a stable job to a commission only
Mhm.
position where it was make it or break it,
Yeah.
right? And
Absolutely.
had to claw and fight, had to feel the pain,
Yeah.
a lot of pain to get to where she is. And now people would look at her and say, how the heck did she do that? Well, she did it with a lot of hard work,
Yeah.
a lot of pain, and decisions that a lot of people aren't willing to make. I think you would agree with that, right?
Yeah. So keep us going with your actions and what you did. And as Alex referenced, we talk about 4 variables
Mhm.
in From Worry to Wealth. Time, we illustrate, is the most important. How we use it, leverage. So why don't you talk about time and leverage
Mhm.
in relation to how you execute it?
Yeah. I mean, I think the time that I spent in branding myself. Is that what you mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, what you did with your time, how you utilize your time, because you use your time pretty well.
Yeah. So an example of this would be you referenced making connections with other folks that were in, I
yeah.
don't want to say the supply chain, but the sphere of influence, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And so you could have spent your time passing out flyers at a grocery store,
Right.
right? But it sounded to us like
Mhm.
you leveraged as much of you could as your time as you could to connect with people that were also connected with other people that
Yeah.
could assist.
Yeah. No, I mean, I did socialize a lot. Like, I tried to get out there and go to events and things like that. Just because, like, things were free. I tried to do things that were free, and social
Yeah.
media. I did a lot of like reaching out to people, making posts, about, sales or just about real estate, educating people. Um, and I mean, yeah, I don't, it's kind of a,
Well, it sounds all fundamental,
yeah.
but what percentage of realtors you're going to do? How many million this year, do you think?
30?
Maybe 35.
Yeah, 30, 35.
Okay, what percentage of realtors in the United States, let's just call it Jacksonville, Florida, let alone,
Okay.
do 35 million?
Oh, not a lot. It's probably less than 1%.
Way less than 1%.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is different,
Yeah.
is better.
Yeah.
And the whole point of this podcast is that we get the pleasure of having you
Yeah.
share the exact ingredients that went into it. Now, Alex and I argue from this book how you use your time is different,
Hmm.
and how you use leverage is different.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk?
Well, I mean, leveraging, I think relationships, it goes back to even how we met. Like it was people that I decided to follow up with. I mean, follow up was a big thing. Like I followed up with you. I mean, that got me, where I am. I mean, mainly, I mean, and then, there's other people that I met. So, I mean, I guess even people that I had managed when I was in property management, I took their contacts. I don't know if I should even say that. I took their contacts and I
Yeah,
kept
it's a
up
smart
with
thing to
them.
do,
I mean,
for sure.
people that were renting that I used to manage their places. I would reach out. I helped someone like probably 5 years ago, 4 years ago buy a house, and they were renting for like 10 years, and I managed their property, and I kept up with them. And I was like, hey, like, let me know when you guys are ready. Like, it was just people like that that I constantly, like, I constantly touched. And so it was just, I think, follow up and leveraging the relationships with these people that I had. And
I think what I know of you. I think the leverage part of her capability is leveraging her instincts
Mm,
to determine the maximum value relationships that she would have, rather than just
yeah.
treating everybody the same. She's utilizing time better and leveraging her instincts and intuition on people, what you know of that business, and sort of predicting the right relationships going forward. I do think those are key ingredients to what she's done, based on what I
I
know.
mean, there isn't even another situation that's this guy similar to Alex. He came into when I was,
Nobody is similar to Alex.
well,
So
no, not at all.
he's
But
they broke the mold. I mean,
yeah, exactly. This is very true. There was a guy that came into the property management office that I was working at, just randomly called and said, "Hey, I have like 150 properties," and he was looking at getting management. And I was like, "Oh, I need to keep his contact info." He didn't end up using us for property management, but I kept his contact info. And this is 15 years ago. Now, I just gained his like all his business. Like I am selling he's unloading all
When did
the
that happen?
property.
This year?
Hmm?
When did that happen?
Last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
14 years
Or I've kept up with
later.
him
Talk about follow up.
since then.
yes.
That is
Yeah.
excellent.
And
That is
now I
that-
have 200 contracts for him right now. I've sold probably total around.
wow. 14 years later. It took me 4 or 5 years to start working with you exclusively, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is an investment of time
That's investment of time. That's
and
big.
leveraging relationships.
Relationships and time.
But that is an investment of time in the right people, right? And utilizing your instincts to determine that. That's
Totally
very
with this
impressive.
guy
That's impressive.
for example, with this person, he was a very he's very business guy. I mean, he was living in he's at stock markets and stuff, and I was very like intrigued by him. My intuition, I knew he was very successful, obviously from the phone call we had. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not really interested." So I kept up with him. I was like, "Hey, let me know if you ever need anything." His mom at the time was a real estate agent. Well, his mom ended up passing away.
Right.
And so I heard about that as well. So I
Right.
reached out, said,
Make sure he was okay. Yeah.
yeah, I reached out. He said, "I hope you're doing good. I just want you to know I'm thinking about you. I'm so sorry for your loss." Didn't say anything else to let that, and then constantly just reached out. And it was funny because I don't think he really thought much of me back then. Obviously, like I was very I was low on the totem pole.
Yeah.
He
Most
actually
people in that
reached out-
position, they're meet realtors.
Yeah.
They're not thinking this person can help me,
No.
right?
No. And he
So-
actually reached out to me when the Jacksonville Business Journal came out. He reached out to me saying, "I saw you in number 10." He's like, that's very impressive.
That is impressive. Wow.
So he reached out to me. I didn't have to tell him. I never said,
Wow.
"This is what I'm
That's very
doing."
cool.
But
Yeah.
that meant a lot to me. I mean,
Yeah.
for him to reach out to me and say, I said,
Congrats.
"Do you read the Jacksonville Business
Yeah.
Journal?" And he goes, "Absolutely, I
He's
do."
one of 10 people to read the journal. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, "Absolutely, I do." And I said, "Wow." I was like, "Oh my gosh," like
That's really cool.
he saw that
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah.
good now. So, and now he,
But imagine, so Ben, think about this. What percentage of realtors would meet somebody and keep in touch with them over a 14-year period?
I don't know the answer. You tell me.
It's got to be
Paige?
1/100th of 1% of the realtors out there would do that. Maybe less.
there's not,
I mean, think about salespeople that we've known over the years. They've followed up for 14 years with somebody. That's tenacity.
yeah.
So circle back just to really nail this. Give me the top 3 attributes as to you're giving advice to a newbie that joins your team hypothetically,
Mhm.
and you're telling them the 3 things that are at the top of the list that they must do. They can do a lot of things, but these 3 things are the keys or the pillars. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but
Yeah.
what do you got?
I'm sure you do this all the time.
Yeah. I'd say communication. I mean, because really it's huge. Like you just have to be on it. And I'm not just saying like, answer your phone. I'm saying like when someone reaches out to you and they need something, get it done. Like don't sit on it. You have to say, all right, I'm on it. Like just give me, an hour. Like I'll get on it.
True in many businesses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Response time.
Response
Yeah.
time for
Yeah.
sure. I would say follow up. I mean, that's a huge thing in this business.
Okay.
You got to stay in touch with your people, make sure they know you're relevant, make sure they know you're succeeding. And then,
Well, let me challenge you with this one.
oh,
How well do you know how to protect a buyer or seller in the transaction? How well do you know how to go in and solve the problem that exists in a real estate
really well, because I have a lot of experience now. Like, I
Well,
feel
what
like,
about early on?
Mm.
You didn't?
no, I didn't. No, I
So-
did not.
Did you have some mentorship, or how did you get through that process? Sounds like the
I
one
mean, the-
person in the office, provided the sign.
Yeah, she was a very good mentor. I mean, we did have a lot of people that I could go to and talk to. So, with the company that I was with, they were very supportive. They had a lot of support staff. And that's why I was there for 7 years. I mean, they did educate me very well. But yeah, I mean, I think experience over time in every situation. I think you just have to go through it, and you have to be a problem solver, I think, too. Like you may not know because you haven't been in a situation, but you have
It takes desire to take on the responsibility of the problem. It's
Right.
taking personal resposibility.
Yeah, it's getting the
get that
electrician over
transaction.
there
Yeah.
that day. It's getting the plumber over there that can fix it. It's getting the
Right.
whole, it's getting the contractor to know which one to do and which one to trust to get it done too.
Sounds like the property management years
Yeah.
came in handy.
Sounds like it came in, and that was a good point that you made. I have maybe another point, which might be the third thing, that says I've had many relationships with sales-focused people in which they've given me indications that their happiness is more important than mine,
Absolutely.
that their achievements are more important than mine. And when you're in a business where you're dealing with arguably, for the most part, the largest purchase people will make in their lives, and you can put them above yourself, and you can, and this is true for a lot of businesses, right? Where you can help them understand that you're there for them, that you're an advocate for them,
Mhm,
which is really what you should be,
mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
I've had many realtors get angry as deals fall apart. I've had some say, "Well, how am I going to get paid?" Right? And it's like, what? Or I'm not going to allow you to do this. I've had some of that too. And I think when I started working with Paige, I'd had many experiences like that where those folks elevated their own personal interests above that of their clients. And I think that's a great one that you brought up with the problem solving. I think that's another element to it that I think puts somebody thinking that way above other people in that supply chain.
I also think helping people too. I mean, you've taught me this a lot. Like you always want to help people and in different perspectives. You've always put that into different perspectives for me. And I mean, I've always been that type of person. I mean, before I even was in real estate, I just wanted to help people. And so now I'm able to help people just like you helped me. And, I want to be that person. I want to be in that seat when you guys' seat. Like I want to be able to help people. So I reflect that in business as well. I mean, and personally.
No greater privilege than to be in a position where you don't have to help yourself anymore and you can help other people.
Yeah, no, it's
No greater
goal in life.
privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else so you've had how long a relationship now with Alex? 6 years, 7 years?
Like eight or 10, 9.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
This may be a question that we may not want to cover, but how much business have you guys done together?
I have no idea.
Well,
20 million, 10 million?
yeah, it's a lot. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I just said 7 million in January.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second, because in a previous podcast, so you were part of this wonderful property on Heron. So
Yep. Yep.
you've already sold it, so I can use the name. Hopefully the person
Yeah.
that bought it doesn't care, but
Ah,
I know it was one of the
public record.
largest sales in Duval County. So I guess not,
Riverfront,
not,
mhm.
not waterfront, or not oceanfront, I should say.
Right.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that. What was the magic that happened between the two of you?
I said, you should let me list your house.
So the, so this is an interesting thing, right? Because this is a property that at times I thought I was going to sell, and at times I thought I wasn't going to sell. And I didn't want to go through those permutations of my thought process with Paige to stress her out one way or another. Not that I think she would necessarily care, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know if I should sell this property or not, right? And talk about follow-up, Paige would constantly ask me, if I needed any help with anything. She would provide solutions to problems that I may or may not be having at the time, and would offer to help in a way that didn't feel like she was pressuring me to work with her to sell the property, almost as if, well, I've got this resource here. If I do at any time, want to do this, here's somebody that's going to work hard for me to try to get this done. And honestly, I was pretty skeptical about selling it for a price that I thought was the right price. And point in fact, it actually sold quite a bit higher than I ever imagined it would, right? So this is an example of Paige staying relevant, staying in the forefront of, and I've had other agents reach out. I've had, hey, this person's looking for this property, whatever. Paige just was a constant in that process and always offering to help, which regardless of whether or not she got it, that's putting others before yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, once I finally decided, hey, I want to do this, it was kind of a no-brainer, right? And then I don't even know that I decided to do that, because I think you brought me the buyer before I even listed it, right?
Yeah,
Sort of.
technically.
Yeah.
We had a listing agreement signed.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, I said, hey, I want to start like kind of being able to
Yeah.
say I have this in my
Oh, for sure.
pocket.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, do you mind like signing this?
Oh, that's
listing
right. And
agreement?
then
It
I didn't want
wasn't
to
done
market it.
yet. Yeah, we didn't market it at the time.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, would you mind just signing this listing agreement? That way I can kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
So,
And I thought, hey, I mean,
yeah,
I
nothing.
don't even know if I want to sell it, but
Yeah.
we'll sign the listing agreement.
I said, let's put a number on it.
Yeah.
And it's in Mary Alex fashion, was like, hey, let's just say like 7.5 million, right?
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah.
try, right?
Yeah.
So I said, all right, cool. I mean,
But part of her team is an individual that also can appraise properties. So that does set her apart,
Yeah.
from a number of other realtors. And so imagine somebody's coming and saying, hey, I need a resource to sell this. Next question is, what is it worth?
do you wanna
Right?
say?
Yeah. How much is it worth? What are we listening for? How long is it going to take? And so part of her team, she has that on her team, which is, not a lot of people have that. Right. So
Do you do anything different on the marketing side that would be different than other people?
I mean, yeah, as a brokerage, we do provide a lot of different above, like rather than like a base level. There's a lot of like we're a very luxury brokerage, so we do have different platforms that we can go to, and for a lot of luxury
foreign buyers and things
right,
like that.
like
Yeah.
we're a global company, so we do have a lot of different marketing that we do as far as for like luxury.
But he's talking about you specifically.
Oh,
Are
me
you?
specifically.
Yes.
Well, I mean, so I feel like with this, if we're talking about Heron Point, for marketing, I had an agent who was on Facebook, and he kind of made a post and was like, hey, I have a buyer that's going to be in town, and he's in this price point. And I was like, wait a second, like I have this house that kind of everything he's saying, like it kind of meets like what I'm hearing is like, this is Heron Point. So I I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, I have a property in my back pocket. Are you thinking, when are they going to be in town? When do they want to see it?" Well, Heron Point wasn't done yet. So I kind of told him it's not done. It's kind of like one of these things where maybe we can tailor it a little bit to your customers and we can kind of um, work together to make this happen. And he was like, "All right, let me talk to them." And I kind of said, "Hey, like this property's $7.5 million. Um, I think we even said seven, and I said 7.5 because I was like, let's just try.
But a couple of times where she's pushed me to put the price higher and it's sold higher.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a bad thing.
That was not a terrible thing. Yeah.
So they came, and I mean, it was like they kind of just fell in love with it, and it was a long story. That was a
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, it was easy. You
The
just
24
came back.
hours before the transaction was a little
Yeah.
stressful, but the whole thing was fine.
Yeah, it was good.
So before we close out the podcast, I want to ask anything. So kind of two more topics here. Anything that you think a viewer or a listener would benefit from, either they're a new realtor just starting out or you're trying to mentor somebody. What's your advice? I mean, what you've gone from nothing, negative nothing.
Well, the other thing is if year one she did several million in sales. Year one, whatever formula she's using is pretty beneficial.
Well, the
I was
formula
like,
was fear.
yeah, right. It's the same formula I had growing up.
To be honest, my
So
son,
everybody needs a 5-year-old.
yeah, you need to be a single mom and you need to have a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
Because
fear is
even-
a driver.
I mean, but what's really cool about that, because like I want to kind of go back on that, is like having that was my why. And so that created that in me, like he's watching me, like he's seeing my mom from a 2-bedroom condo, sleeping on the floor on a mattress, to what we have now. And he's seen me go through all that. And so the biggest moment, I will say, the biggest moment in my entire real estate career was I think like 2 years ago. He came to me and was like, I think I just won like some award or something. It wasn't like a huge deal, but it was he came to me and was like, "Mom, I just want you to know that I am really, really proud of you. Like
It's amazing.
where you've came from and what you've done. Like, I'm so proud of you." And he's 14, 15 and telling you this. And I'm like, to hear that that's why I did it. That's all I needed to hear. Like,
I don't know how old any of my kids are. I'm 14, 15, 16.
fine.
Yeah, and that leading by example will live forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that whatever formula
Now
so
you work
so
one-
think
yeah, we say,
Yeah.
Mom, you work.
yeah.
That's what he says now.
But think about if you're a consumer and you have a resource that's constantly reaching out. And I've had many of these people in my life, and I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
Some reach out and disappear, some barely reach out, but the ones that consistently reach out over long periods of time are the ones I've tended to work with because they take stuff off my plate, right? Like I don't have a lot of time, but I'll buy something, right? Sometimes I need to be reminded to buy something. Sometimes I need to be reminded that resource is there. It's no different than a drip marketing campaign where you're constantly
Yeah,
going,
you want to provide value. That's all I
Well,
wanted to do was provide
absolutely.
value. Like
Yeah.
even to you, it was like, hey, like I would send you a text like, "Hey, just so you know, like I'm here if you ever need any help with anything. Like,
Right.
do you guys need me to go help stage a house, or do you need me to help go do anything? Like,
right.
whatever you need, like
Right.
just let me know. I'm here." So I think providing value is what I would say to a lot of new agents. You gotta show your value. I mean, we're making quite a bit of money in the transaction, so you have to show your customer why they're hiring you and what value you serve to them. Again, whether that's knowing the right contractor, the right people to help the transaction along, and to know that like I look my customers in the eyes and say, "I'm going to be with you every step of the way, and we're going to get through this together. And I have the experience and the knowledge to make this as smooth as possible for us."
Yeah, you have to be willing to work hard, endure pain, put others ahead of yourself,
Sure.
be willing to do what's right for them
Yeah.
and not for yourself.
Yeah.
And as we talk about wealth creation, this is going to be maybe an interesting thing for you to hear, but Paige's family is much more well off than they ever present. Nobody would know, right? And part of that is, I would assume, how you conduct yourself in terms of not getting overextended,
Oh, yeah.
taking your disposable income and saving it. You're in a position where you take risks,
Yep.
right? But to mitigate those risks or to offset those risks, many salespeople that you and I have seen over the years, when they have a killer year, what are they doing? They're going out and buying.
Yep. It's true.
everything they can.
Mhm.
That money just,
That white Mercedes.
yeah, they can't do it, right? They just can't, and the expectation, you think about the real estate business, heavily cyclical, right? And so I think for our viewers, it's staying true to the fundamentals and the need to invest and produce income off your disposable
Yeah,
cash.
and because of
right?
Alex, we're doing that now. I mean, we've used those fundamentals. We're now
You'd be doing it a little bit better now, but you were always doing it,
right.
right?
We have been always
Yeah.
doing it, but now with the right people and relationships
Yes.
that you've helped us with, we are able to invest our money in the right places.
Right.
And so,
And leverage. Can you just touch on that for our listeners and viewers, since this is a Where to Wealth
because I don't really know what you.
Yeah.
and Wealth Creators Institute podcast?
Yeah.
Can you touch on that?
Well, so I had recommended, knowing what I know of Paige and her family. And I had no idea that they had saved an amount of money that was pretty accretive for the family. So I recommended leveraging that money and investing it, and then using leverage to, like we teach, right? Using leverage against the investments to make further investments for them. And so,
Setting up a stock and bond portfolio and,
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Yeah.
borrowing against the
Correct.
Yep.
cheaper
right.
debt to
correct.
acquire other assets.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Same
right.
strategy.
Yeah, and that way your assets grow, tax deferred.
Yep.
Right.
You could write off the interest, heavy earnings, on that side. You can write off that interest and reduce your tax burden.
So take a break right there.
Yeah.
So for those listeners and viewers, there's another podcast where Alex and I go deeper into that strategy.
Right.
So we'll cover
I
that.
utilize the strategy for myself. I offer the strategy up for other people. And if I had known what I know now 30 years ago, I'd be a lot better off than I am. But fortunately, with Paige and her family being so young, I mean, using that strategy is going to be super accretive to them.
It's been great.
And so Paige has done everything right? Had the I don't want to call it a dead end job, but kind of a dead end job, right? Patterned after your own family, right? Going down the standard path of working for somebody else. You saw that you weren't going to enjoy that life. You had learned lessons from your own family and said, I don't want to have that life. I'm going to take a risk, right? I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can. I'm going to take my disposable income. I'm going to save it. I'm going to reinvest in my business. Now you're growing potentially a team of individuals, or have grown a team of individuals, leveraging other people, leveraging relationships, doing it in the most prudent way she can. Now she's got disposable income, disposable cash that she can invest. She's doing that, leveraging that, and just doing all the right things. I mean, it just plays right into our teachings, which is great.
It's been great.
Yeah.
Well, Paige, thanks for being with us. Any other final brilliant
You can
words of
teach the
wisdom?
next podcast because you're living.
I think you're in charge. The next podcast is yours.
Exactly.
Well, congratulations on your tremendous success. I've had the pleasure of working with you on a transaction, and yeah, you were tremendous.
Thank you. Appreciate
Very,
that.
very, very good.
Yep.
Not as many as Mr. Fink. He's
We'll get you.
Oh,
he
I'm here.
buys real estate like
Yeah.
the rest of us buy
He's like, sure, why not? Let's just do it.
groceries.
let's do it. We might be doing one this week, Ben.
We are doing one this week.
Yeah, we might be. Yeah. So
That's good. That's good. I can't wait to hear about that.
yeah, sounds good.
So nothing else. If nothing else, we'll say goodbye. Alex, any other words of wisdom?
No,
for-
thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
appreciate you coming in. Anyway, thanks for being with us in this episode of From Where to Wealth podcast. And we thank Paige for being with us. I'll probably
So that's
keep her for another couple of years longer, but
Oh yeah, we should.
we'll have Paige on another time. Anyway, thanks for being here. We'll see you in the next episode.